Good evening, everybody. Well, Justin Trudeau's tweeting again. Justin Trudeau's tweeting again. And today he tweeted out a graphic. Quote, cutting your taxes was the first thing, all capitals, we did after getting into office. And here's the result. Families across the country are paying less, especially the ones working hard to make ends meet. And the graphic down here has the title is the Canada Child Benefit and the Middle Class Tax Cut Mean, lower taxes for families. And it's got four charts comparing here. It says four-person family with two earners, 167, and it's got 18% and 15%. So it's a drop of 3%. And a four-person family with two earners, and I'm assuming that 100 is a full-time employee and 33 is a third employee. They're paying less taxes by 10%. I'm assuming because they're earning less. It's really actually not very clear. I've got to be honest with you. I was just looking at it and I didn't really look too deep because two things that caught my eye. I'll finish off the stats here. So it says a four-person family with one earner, 100%. Yeah, I think that's the number of hours. You're like 100 is like you're a full-time worker. So a one-person family is 9.6%, and under the Trudeau government, it's 1.8. And a single working parent with two children under the top one is, well, under this graph, it's 8.8 versus Trudeau's 1.2. And the graphic has Harper versus Trudeau. And I thought, well, that's funny. Like, yeah, okay, you're really trying to brand this like against Harper because you beat Harper last time. So you're trying to rerun the 2015 election? Weird. So I started scrolling down because I was just looking to see what the, and I want to point out that they do cite their sources here. And so if you want to see it, the link will be in the description, as with everything I talk about. So there's lots of kind of discussion, and it says one of the responses was, really, some will dispute you. And let's have a quick look at this is the Fraser Institute, and this was published in August 2018, but it's only a quick 39-second, but here you go. Worth the watch.
Have changed. In 1961, the average Canadian family spent just 34% of its income on taxes and 57% on housing, food, and clothing combined. Fast forward 56 years, and the balance has shifted. The average family now pays 43% of its income on taxes and 36% on the basic necessities of life. Yes, times have changed. To learn more, visit fraserinstitute.org.
That's crazy. That's crazy, right? Like, I thought that was nuts. And I started looking. So here's an article from September 26, 2017. Over 80% of middle-class families face higher taxes under the Liberals report. What? That seems crazy. I just read Justin Trudeau just said we pay less taxes. Nope, I guess not. Here's a report from August 24th, 2017. Average Canadians pay 42.5% of their income in taxes. If you are an average family making $83,000 per year, you paid roughly $35,000 in taxes last year. And that's calculated by the Fraser Institute, and that was the quick clip I just showed you. So, I mean, it seems really crazy to spend that kind of money on taxes, right? What are we doing with the taxes? What are we doing with these taxes? Oh, Toronto mayor says it can't handle more refugee claimants, but some say finding housing feels impossible. Yeah, I bet. Ottawa delivers $11 million for Toronto homeless shelters. Right, there's the money. So we're paying taxes, a lot of taxes, to put refugees out of dorms and in hotels, among other things. Yes, we're paying for roadways and other things as well, but we're sending billions of dollars overseas in foreign aid. We're sending illegal refugee claimants who have no actual legitimate claim to stay in hotels. We're giving Syrian refugees $50,000 a year for no good reason at all. And Justin Trudeau's thinking that, hey guys, I'm doing a lot better than Harper did. Sorry, Mr. Trudeau. You're going to have to try harder than that. There's only two more responses or tweets that I want to show you, responses that I want to highlight here. This is somebody I think is worth highlighting. She says, quote, "I'm a senior on fixed income, so higher costs are always a concern. I paid high taxes throughout my life and now find that the healthcare and other public benefits that I paid for have been greatly eroded. My current income is such that taxes are not an issue, except for HST." Okay, two things. Yes, taxes may not be an issue for you, madam, and I'm glad, or sir, I suppose. But if you have RSPs and you take them out, you get a hit on your income that year because you have to declare those RSPs. So taxes do come into play. And yeah, that money has not been taxed. It's been sheltered from tax, but you've taken a hit when you're old, and that may not be the best time. I'm seeing it firsthand. Um, Here's another one. Somebody said, we didn't get a tax cut, and we're okay with that. We'd rather see people that need it get it. Okay, and then somebody else says, this is the attitude to have. We need higher taxes for people who can afford them and lower taxes for people who are below the poverty line. I just wish he would have shown how much more tax people with high incomes are paying compared to those on lower income. Okay, I agree with that. But here's the argument against that. Income inequality is not a bad thing. There's a lot of income inequality, and then that's not a bad thing because there's a lot of movement between the income inequality. Sometimes you can be a low earner, right, and you're going to work a lot of hours, and that means you're like maybe a server worker or like a new worker. You're working part time. You don't have a lot of experience. You have to get lots of experience. You have to go to school and work. So you're a low earner, and then as you gain experience and move up in value, you become a high earner. And all of that process you should be rewarded for, not punished for, right? And you were rewarded through not having your money taken from you and given to somebody who did not do the work that you've done, right? The idea is, oh, we should give it to those poor people, but money is not a cure-all for poor people because money is difficult to use. And I'm not going to get into how money is difficult to use and that kind of complicates things. But Jordan Peterson, I watch him and I listen to him quite a lot, and he's quite good. Has talked about how money is not a cure-all because it's hard to use. You have to be intelligent to use money. And if you look at the stats of people who have like won the lottery, right? It's not always a good thing to just have money, because if you just have money and you're an alcoholic, well, you're going to go buy booze. Or if you just have money and you like gambling, well, you're going to go do that too. So, and not to say that poor people do those things, but money does not fix those problems, right? That's my point. So I think that's very interesting, those Twitter responses, because that's a widely held belief, and I used to believe that too until I realized that you can't throw money at a problem to fix it. It's not going to fix that problem. It's just not. So taking money from people who have earned it to give it to people who are literally going to throw it away doesn't make a lot of sense. Burning it on hotel rooms for people who are economic tourists doesn't make a lot of sense. Sending it to foreign nations, and I do have another link. I did a whole other video on it, so it's the Jinnah video, if you're interested. But I don't have the link right now, and I'm not going to go get it. So anyway, MaximeBernier.com. I'm excited about the announcement tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'll see you then. Have a good night.